Pencil and paper, please. So I wrote down 2 words. Mental toughness. Mental toughness. Write down mental toughness. Interesting thing that's going on in the economy today is the time of year. What's the time of the year? What's the time of year?
Summer.
It's end of spring into summer, right? What happens in spring and summer? Real estate.
Yeah, the market's supposed to go up. Good.
The sellers say it's a good time to sell because summer's coming, right?
Time to sell because summer's coming. Actually, statistically speaking, the market peaks in April, May, and part of June. And we actually start to slow down. But do you know why we tend to slow down?
People go on vacation.
People go on vacation. What people?
Families.
Real estate.
Families.
Agents, owners.
Real estate agents. Here's the problem. The same thing that happens to us in October, November, and December. Remember the conversations that I have at the end of the year? I've been doing this for 3-4 years now, where we run through the finish line. We talk about that? Well, that's where the mental toughness comes in, because you've got all these outside things pulling in on you. You know, at the end of the year, you have the holidays. At the end of the year, you have Thanksgiving, you have Halloween, you have Christmas time. You know, every distraction. We don't think about the distractions that we have now in the summertime. And it's not just our clients that tend to go away. It's we as real estate agents. Yeah. So I wrote down here mental toughness. Right now, more than any other time, mental toughness is required. And I wrote down mental toughness is the ability to stay mentally and emotionally strong during adversity and distractions. Not just adversity. Adversity, we kind of know we need to be mentally tough. But we get distractions. Distractions are, let me share with you something that I've only recently come upon. And I, you know, Mike Ferry's been talking about how bad this is for all of us. And it only recently surfaced for me in an aha. Anybody on, besides me, on Facebook? Pretty much everybody, right? Pretty much everybody. Is there ever a time when you're on Facebook watching a friend, relative, customer, client, somebody else going away on a trip, and there's a little bit of pang of, how come them, not me? Come on, you guys. Somebody got a listing, you didn't get the listing, they got a listing, not the same listing, just a listing. They made a sale. What happens? How's that feel? Bothers you a little bit. Bothers me. You know, somebody that, one of your clients, but this is like really low level bother, but it's a bother. You see one of your clients, maybe a past client or sphere, is in Facebook, and you hit the like button, and they go, wow, But then you see Johnny Jones, a competitor, maybe in the same track, and they hit the like button for your client that just did something. So now you know Susie's watching over that listing that might be coming up. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Does this make sense? And it makes you feel what? Bad. It makes you feel bad. So I took a test in the last 4 weeks, and I stopped going on Facebook. I took it off of my phone. I lost my phone 4 or 5 weeks ago. It died. And when I put everything back on the new phone, I didn't put Facebook on. So it's on my computer, but I don't watch my computer all day long. I'm not reaching for my telephone, like I'm reaching for my telephone. So, mental toughness is to stay mentally and emotionally strong during adversity and distractions. So let's be careful with that. So think about this. So if I'm not responding to your happy birthday wish, it's because I haven't seen it. So that whole birthday thing I went through in New York, and I know I got pings on it, and people said happy birthday, I haven't responded to one. I did not look at it. So so just think about that. I wrote down here, mental toughness is the ability to stay mentally and emotionally strong during adversity and during distractions. I also wrote down it's the ability to take action despite your mood. Despite your mood. Sometimes you're not happy. Sometimes you're elated. But despite your mood, you need to still be mentally tough. I wrote down here, the key to mental toughness is developing a feeling of inner confidence, happiness, calm, and being satisfied with yourself and your business. So what do I mean by that? Give me some thoughts. Feeling an inner confidence, happiness and calm satisfaction with yourself and your business.
Well, I mean, what I can think of is doing the things that we're supposed to do on a daily basis. And even though we maybe don't get a result that day, at the end of the day, we're satisfied because we know we followed our schedule.
We did the activities. Great example. Great example. When you do the activities you're supposed to do, even though you may not have sold or listed a house, but you did the activities. You made 30 contacts. You practiced for half an hour on your scripts and dialogues. You previewed some properties. You did those activities. You feel pretty darn good about yourself.
Yeah, it's tough work.
And it's tough work to do, right? Right. Okay, good. So, you start to feel calm. You start to feel an inner satisfaction about yourself and your business. So, how often are we mentally tough during the day? Jean? Not very often?
All day, every day.
So what gets in the way? What's getting in our way of let me back up. Is being mentally tough important? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So we've established a baseline that it's important. So now, if it's important, then what do we allow to get in the way that causes us to not be mentally tough if we need to be, if in fact we need to be mentally tough? What gets in the way?
Being negative.
Being negative, okay. All right.
Not strong enough. You allow
Insecure?
negative, yeah.
Could we become negative because we're insecure?
Yes.
How do we get insecure in this business?
Not having
Not doing
business.
what
Not having business, okay. David? No paycheck, very insecure.
I mean, it's a lot of things, even just like the way you eat or work out or
Okay.
wake up late in the morning, then you end up having a bad day.
Okay, all right. So if you wake up late, that causes us to be stressed and
Yeah.
upset with ourselves, right? Okay. Jean, how about you?
I should not have answered this. I think in my case is a lot of frustration, like Sandra said, because she's been getting up really early, and we're trying to get up early. Like for me, the biggest frustration is not getting up as early as I wanted.
How early
Being
is that?
upset. Huh?
How early is that for you?
5 a.m.
Like
5 a.m. 5 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And you're missing 5 o'clock? Does that happen?
A lot.
No?
Careful,
lot?
the water's gonna fall.
Oh, today I didn't. I was so tired from yesterday.
Really?
It's not
Okay.
looking for.
I
Getting an alarm clock.
You're gonna get an alarm clock for her?
Well, yeah, if she has to, you know.
Well, it is kind of interesting, because if you are a person, an individual who tends to get up in the morning and the alarm isn't an issue, it's very interesting talking to somebody whose alarm is an issue. Okay, I'm not one of those people.
I don't need an alarm anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5:03 in the morning and I'm up.
Yeah.
That's the deal, okay? It's really the deal.
But it takes time for you to get used to it. You know, for her, maybe because she's so
Maybe.
used of getting up late.
So how do we help her create mental toughness?
Morning call.
Be
A
ready.
morning call.
That's right, morning call.
Yeah, wake up
Well,
call.
what,
Get
what
up.
helped me get up early, I would put my alarm clock downstairs.
Wow.
So then this way,
It would wake everybody up.
the alarm goes off. Well, it's not loud, it's like birds singing. But then I get up
But
and
you
I'm already
notice it.
downstairs and I just stay down there, do what I have to do, and
Okay.
I'm out of my
Interesting.
bedroom.
Interesting. So I wrote down here to develop mental toughness, we need to resolve conflicting beliefs about real estate. It's one of the things that'll help us. Okay? So, simple conflict is it's hard to lose weight. Is it hard to lose weight?
Yeah.
For some people, very. For others, not so tough. It's not hard for me to wake up. It's difficult for you to wake up. It's an interesting paradox, but it's part of the mental toughness. I wrote down here, I want to be great. I want to be great. This is the paradox in real estate. I don't want to practice. I want to be great. I don't want to practice. I want to be great, but I'm not willing or I don't want to practice. So stop pretending that, your personality style is not an excuse. Okay? I'm an analytical. So therefore, I'm going to overthink things. That's an excuse. I'm a driver, so I'm pushed through everybody. And sometimes I don't make somebody else important. Okay? I'm a, what's the other
Amiable.
one? Sorry?
Amiable.
I don't use
Yeah,
that.
mobile and
No,
expressive.
I'm the expressive, let's say, and I'm always late, I'm always late, I'm always late, I'm always late. You use that as a crutch.
I have a question actually. Well, there might be a lot of reasons why people like you don't start your morning routine as the way you want it to. My question is, how do you get it out of it as soon as possible? Like, is there any trip or any tip that anybody can share? Like, how do you snap out of it? The guilt, the frustration.
Well, I'm not sure about the guilt and the frustration, but I can help you with when you line out your schedule, and if you, for instance, if your schedule says that I'm going to get up at 7 o'clock, I'm going to work out and
That's
be
too
at the
late.
gym.
It's just
Hypothetical.
an
You
example.
supposed to be at the office at 8.
It's a hypothetical. But let's say at 9 o'clock in the morning, I want to be on the streets door knocking. And I go to my car, whatever time you wake up, and I go to my car, and I go to turn on the engine, and the battery's dead. Happens sometimes? Right? Okay. You couldn't have anticipated it. It was just, unless you've been fooling around with a bad battery for weeks, and you should have got it fixed. But okay, so now what do? So now you call the tow truck comes, they jump the car, or however what it is, it's 11 o'clock. So here's where we make the mistake. At 11 o'clock, we go back to what we were supposed to be doing at 9 o'clock. But what you do is you go to your next appointment. Whatever your next appointment is in your calendar, that's the next thing you do.
So just
And
follow
don't worry about what, because all that's going to happen for the rest of the day now, if you go back and you start again at 9 o'clock, but now it's 11 o'clock, all you're going to do is be off and frustrated for the entire day. This makes sense?
Yeah.
But if you forget about, okay, it didn't work, but I can make my 11 o'clock. I'll go take care of door knocking. I'll go to lunch with Susie, I'll go meet the client, I'll go to a role play, I'll start door knocking, whatever it is I was supposed to do at 11 o'clock, that's what I go do. That helps with you not feeling bad about the entire day. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So try that technique, okay? It's saved me a number of times. Go ahead, Sandra.
Because you know how you guys have a lot of signs that mention your day starts the night before. So I think that's very important too. I mean, for me to be able to wake up at 4:20 in the morning, I gotta make sure that I'm in bed by 9:20, 10 p.m. the latest.
Right. Absolutely.
Or else it's not gonna work.
And not have been overeating,
Exactly.
and not have been drinking. You just, the day,
Yeah.
the next day starts the night before.
Yeah.
And then I
Jack?
think what I found helpful is that this starts the night before, and I'll look at what I have to do. Like I have to make the contact. Why do I want to go to the gym? And then so that gives me a purpose why I need to wake up. So it's kind of subconsciously when I wake up, it's kind of there.
100%.
Yeah, you look at
100%.
your calendar the night before.
So
Yeah.
you set your calendar, you set your appointments, you set the things that you need to do. Look, when you can get the concept of your day starts the night before, and you lay your contacts out, and you think about your goals, and you've got your practice things ready to go, and your cell phone is charged, and your headset, I mean, it's the little things that throw you off. You know, I walked in today, I left my headset here for a week, and while I was gone, it never was charged, okay? I walk in, and Morrissey gave me my headset. I walked back there. Now, I'm ready for the day. I'm lined out. I sent text messages to my team, all ready to go. Get here, put the headset on. It wasn't charged. Not a big deal, but now, instead of working with my headset and my hands free, working on the computers and moving and doing the different things I had to do, I had to plug it in, and I've been limping all day long, or all morning long, headset charge, talking, charging, talking, charging. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Little thing, tiny, stupid thing, okay? But it throws you off for the day, especially when I spent a good part of Saturday planning for this week, and a little bit of yesterday morning before the kids came over for Father's Day planning for this week. And here I walk into the office, and I'm ready, I'm ready. Got the headset, whoop, battery dead. Jeez. Okay, that's what happens. So you have to put all the pieces, but the mental toughness, okay, I don't like it, but I gotta power through it. Does that make sense? Does that help a little bit?
Yes.
Good. I wrote down here, practice detachment. Be more focused on getting the outcome for the client than getting it for you. It's not so much the commission for me, but in fact, the transaction for the client. Tough thing when you need the money.
Yeah.
Tough,
Very tough.
okay? But you need less money when you do what you're supposed to do the night before. When you do what you're supposed to do the week before. Remember what the quote of the week said, the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. But today was the day before too. And the day before that too. And the day before that too. And the reason I don't have an escrow closing this week is because I didn't do what I was supposed to do 90 days ago. Trace it. Trace it. If you need a closing today, it's because you didn't do what you were supposed to do 90 days ago. Because if you did, door knock, phone canvas, scripts, dialogues, preview property, back here at a big level, it's impossible that 90 days later you don't have some business getting ready to close. Impossible. The only thing is that we didn't do what we were supposed to do back here. You guys with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's when we get frustrated. That's where we get ourselves crazy, because today I don't have a closing and I need the closing.
Right.
You know, July 1st is coming up. I have rent, I have my car payment, you know, all the different things that you have. And we still get mad at ourselves, and we realize that if I do what I'm supposed to do today, it's still not gonna be time enough for me to get what I need in the next day or two or three. Get it? It's because we didn't do what we were supposed to do back here. And that becomes our frustration. I wrote down here, kill other options. You must limit your options to do things that help you accomplish your goal. Accountability is the opportunity to live by choice rather than accidentally. What do I mean by that? Accountability is the opportunity to live by choice rather than accidentally.
Doing what you said you were gonna do,
I choose to do it.
to choose.
Okay, rather than I won't do it and let's see what happens. Maybe I'll get a sale, maybe I won't get a sale. If I do get a sale, it's an accident because I really didn't line it out to get the sale. Get it? And we're all guilty of those. It's a choice, I'm going to do my activities or not. Choice or accident? Choice or accident? What's that going to be for you in your mental toughness? So you have to kill the options. And I believe we have too many options. We have too many options. If you don't do your job today, you're going to get fired.
No.
If you don't door knock, Freddie, if you don't get your 30 contacts today, am I going to be standing at the end, at the door with a paycheck for you? No, I'm not going to fire you. That's the good and bad of this business. It's the good and bad of this business. Now, we have a reputation of trying to hold people accountable to the things that they say they want to do. Okay? We try to. And that's why most agents don't go to work for us. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Most agents won't walk in that front door because we have some expectations. Now, at the end of the day, you know, I was at the Century 21 retreat last week. Some of the top companies in the nation, okay? Top companies in the nation. And I got the biggest aha sitting at the tables. You know, they're not necessarily classes as much as there's a lot of interaction between brokers and families and what's going on. It was tremendous from that perspective. But I got this big aha. In our company, we have 40-something centurions. Do you know that most of the companies and guys and brokers I talk to, guys and gals, have one or two? Maybe three.
40 out of how many?
300.
So it's over 10%.
Huge numbers. Huge percentages. In my opinion, I don't think it's enough. I'm not proud of that number. I don't sit around a table and talk about it. Dave, this was amazing to me. And I'm sitting across from people, some in this marketplace, some across the country. Some companies twice our size don't have anywhere near the centurions we have at our number because we have expectations. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
That's why you guys came through the front door and stay with it and do what you're supposed to do. It was an amazing aha for me. So just thought I would share that. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. I wrote down here another thought in working on mental toughness is learn how to make and keep promises to yourself and others. We are actually a society that does a fair job of keeping a promise to another. We're accountability partners. We show up a certain time, etc. You do what you do, I do what I do. We do that. However, left to our own devices, if I had to just not have a coach or not have an accountability person that I had to show up for? How often do we do that? How often do we do that? Some of you are very good at it. Some, not so good. So what if we just kept our promises to ourselves? Think about all the promises we break to ourselves. Isn't that wild? That's it. Today I'm going to do this, whatever this is. And then the phone rings. And you're off and running someplace else. Fantastic. So this was, I wrote down, we have so many broken promises, we degrade our self-image. We have so many broken promises to ourselves that we degrade our self-images. And so I wrote down, only make and keep promises, only make promises you keep and acknowledge any broken promises. So imagine if you did that. Only make promises you're going to keep. I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Jean, I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my feet are going to hit the ground at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. every morning.
But only if you're going to get up. In other words, that's the whole point of this point,
I will.
is let's not make a promise we're not going to do. This was a conversation I had with somebody I was coaching yesterday. Don't tell me you're going to prospect 3 hours. The deal was 100 contacts a day, 2 days.
100 contacts a
Excuse
day.
me. 100, no, this was 100 doors a day, 100 doors a day.
100
For
doors.
100 doors. This was 100 doors a day for 3 days. And then they were going to do, and then they said, well, wait a minute, maybe I'll only do 200 doors, because that's a lot of doors. It's a lot of doors, right?
Yes.
So here was my suggestion. Do 4 doors a week,
4 doors.
excuse me, do 100 doors 4 days a week, but only do it, don't do the 100, do 75. So, they were gonna back off to 200 doors for 2 days. And then they didn't think they could do the rest of the week because they'd be very tired. So the thought was, let's do 75 doors a day for 4 days. What's that? That's 300. So I did 100 more doors over 4 days, less per day, but I hit at the end of the week 400 doors because I didn't burn myself out the first 2 days. This makes sense to anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing to ourselves. That's what we're doing. We're doing so much in a day trying to make up for X when we should be doing something less over time, because we'll end up with more, accomplishing more. You guys with me on this?
So it's like baby steps consistently.
Baby steps consistently, not giant steps occasionally. That's exactly right. All right? I wrote down here, you can't be on all the time. So, Pat Riley wrote a book years ago called Showtime. And in his book, he talks about being on when you're on and being off when you're off. And I don't know if you guys watch me, I have this energy that people ask me all the time, how do you stay energized all day? I'm not energized all day. I'm energized in bursts. And my bursts are high for a certain period of time. And then I go do some other work. I work on the phones, I talk to people, I work on a script, on a dialogue, on something. But when I'm on, when we're in this kind of a setting, I'm up, I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic, I'm putting across the material that needs to be done. Now I sit next to some people, then they're prospecting, and the truth is, you guys, So, when do you plan on moving? How long have you lived in this address? And I know that at 9 o'clock, you were up here. But by 11 o'clock, your energy's down here. Don't do that to yourselves. Work on it, plan on it. Get some food, that's a big deal. I don't know if you guys noticed this, you know, I can tell your energies wane, and then after lunch you're asleep, and then about 1 o'clock you come back. This is when I get you. Is this all making any sense at all?
Yes.
Yes.
So, you can't be on all the time. It's an ebb and flow. Plan your rest styles. Make it a standard. Have mindset breaks, 3 times a day. YouTube. One of the best inventions, certainly for me. Because in any subject in the world, I get to watch something cool if I choose to. And cool might be something religious, might be something spiritual, might be something in a workout program, could be 10 minutes, 5 minutes of a video on high energy music. It doesn't matter. So it's not only one subject, and you can change subjects. And I have walks all the time. I listen to about an hour's worth of YouTube every morning. Some mornings it's spiritual, some mornings it's fast walk, you know, and I want the hot music. And some mornings it's, you know, listening to Mike Ferry or Neil Schwartz or, you know, any of those people. Whatever. Daryl Hardy?
Darren.
Darren?
Very hard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim Ron is good too.
Who?
Jim Ron.
Jim Rohn. Oh, he's great.
Awesome.
Jim Rohn is fantastic. He's actually better now that he's dead. Isn't that wild? I thought he was great before, but now that you can't get any more of him, it's fascinating how much I keep trying to get of him. But this is the bottom line, all right? This is the bottom line. We have to be mentally tough. This is a wacky business. It's getting wackier, all right? We have buyers and sellers and all these different people doing crazy things out there. You know, it's a crazy, crazy business. But there's no other place where we can earn the kind of money we earn for the educations that we have. Certainly my education, I had none, okay? There's no other opportunity like this anywhere unless you're a, I don't know, Elon Musk, you know, Berkshire Hathaway, the guy's name, Warren Buffett, thank you. I can't invent anything. I don't draw. You know, I'm not a financial wizard and guru. I'm a guy, just like a lot of you are guys and gals, that have a good work ethic, that put together some scripts and dialogues, that consistently do their job on a regular basis, and over time make a bloody fortune at this thing. There's no other opportunity like this, none. Stay focused with it, stay consistent, stay committed, and watch what happens. Have a powerful week. Thank you.
Thank you.